Greetings of the day, my dear viewers. And as the video which I have made last time, it was covering Indian elections. This time, yet again, talking about the elections which are very much on the aggressive mode, which is the US elections, which are scheduled in the month of November this year. We have witnessed Trump and Biden fighting over world war, not even a world war, but basically a word war in their own speeches and in their own political melodramas. But is it really fruitful for Indians? The bilateral ties between India and the US? How did the assassination of Trump was planned? Was it a political stunt or was it for real? Might be a scenario where it might be even real thing, or it might be to gain sympathy in any of the other way, because Trump also knows that this election is very crucial for him and for his political career. Biden just boycotting the election, surrendering himself, leaving it, and just giving it to Kamala Harris just for the sake of the Democratic Party. Trump, coming from the Republican, has his own identity, and when he won 2016 election, the relation that he holds up with India was seen by everyone. When he came to India, the way people greeted him and the Howdy Modi campaign that happened when Modi visited US. We will discuss more about this. We'll discuss about the bilateral relation between India and the US. We'll discuss what are the ties, what are the points, what are the parameters where this election will go ahead, and what even are the dominating factors which will play a major role in this election. Knowing the very basic thing about this election is that at this point of time, the economy is in a state where there are so many contrary situations which has been created all over. This election will aim for a very fruitful decision for the youth, for the medical industry, for the technological sector, driven into the industry which is manufacturing sector, creating jobs for Indians, and also the PR relations that has to be established, which might be very fruitful in the coming decade. Starting over the very basic relation, which I want to tell you, is that if we try to focus on a very basic parameter that India focuses with US, is the bilateral relation with the countries like China, Pakistan, and some few other countries. There is a proper guideline which has been laid down from various peacekeeping international organizations, and India US relies to the same. But there has been a scenario where India will be looking forward to fighting with the terrorism alongside with US going hand in hand. The Russia-Ukraine war, keeping a very cold view on that. Secondly, some good manufacturing and development opportunities, setting up factories, setting up US companies here in India. Now getting on to the political backgrounds of Trump, Biden and Kamala Harris. Let's discuss the same. Talking about the basic expectations that we have from the US government post-elections, or the NRIs or the PR citizens who are living there in US, what they might be expecting from the US government might point out on various parameters, and the parameters count on such as the stronger diplomatic ties within the relation, border issues of India, Pakistan, India, China, mainly dealing and support of the US to the Indians, economic cooperations, because India hopes for an increased bilateral economical development from the dual side. Visa and immigration policies plays a major role. Indians expect more streamlined and efficient visa and immigration policies, making easier for the Indians to travel to the US. And also support for the India's foreign policy goals, including its bid for a permanent seat on the UN Security Council, countering terrorism, education and cultural exchange, travel advisories for the various other security situations in India, encouraging more American tourists and businesses to engage with India. Support for Indian diaspora. Indians expect the US government to continue supporting the Indian diaspora in the US, recognizing their contribution to the American society and economy, mainly dealing with the citizens who are from the India, because they are having a very big expectation, as we saw in the Indian general election, that 400 seats were proclaimed, but it didn't happen because the basic necessity was not met maybe by the government. That is why this situation occurred. Now, secondly, talking on the US and Indian economic policy, the strategical partnership, the bilateral trades. India's major export to the US includes gem and jewelries, pharmaceuticals products, light crude oil, and petroleum, electrical and electronic goods, engineering products, apparel, frozen marine products, and others. Investment parameter to the US also plays a very important role. Cooperation of the Indian in the bilateral United Nations, G20, World Bank, World Trade Organization will also be a major factor this time. Currently, Indian students in the US are around 320,000, an approximate figure, which contribute over $7.7 billion annual to the US economy. This plays a major role and a very critical role, and which acts as a very major parameter for the government of US to get the vote share from Indians. Now, discussing the very important and the very interesting topic, which is the assassination of Trump. Did it really happen? Was it a planned one? Was it a political stunt? Or it was just a simple happening that happened? So going on to this, it is not the first time that this has happened to Trump. In 2016 campaign rally on June 18, 2016, a British national, Michael Sanford, attempted to grab a police officer gun to shoot Trump. Enveloped with white powder in 2018. Man with gun on January 10, 2021. Capitol riot, January 6, 2021. And this, which happened in July 2024, is again an assassination attempt on Trump. So yeah, the media is claiming that yes, it was a planned thing, it was not a stunt. But how fruitful, how beneficial will this turn out to be is a big question. I don't claim it to be beneficial part, but yes, if this was the purpose to harm the life of a citizen, calling out it to be a citizen, it was just not accepted from anyone, and it is a severe crime. And on the other hand, I think Trump will be working further for the betterment of the nation, as it is claimed that the good days back again for the US. Let's see whether it's Kamala Harris or Trump this time. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Vande.